Crazy, man. Last time we seen the Bulls be this cold, I probably was like 7 years old. Like I was probably like 7 years old, 8 years old, when they just, got off to a hot start. We talking Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, you know what I'm saying? We talk about 90s stuff. We want to go a little more recent. We might talk about Derrick Rose, you know what I'm saying? Like when D Rose is there. But honestly, this might be the hottest start that the Chicago Bulls have had in a very, very long time. Everybody, welcome in a free game as we here to talk about NBA action. And I'm here with my dogs, my brothers, some made men, my boys. We got Young Maya on the beat. He here with us. We got Coach Don. We got Juan Gotti. And we just, we have to make, fulfill our promise to y'all as real, free game fans that y'all are, supporting us, that every week we're going to drop an NBA episode no matter what. So we got to start off with our hometown team, the Chicago Bulls. Before we get into it, fellas, how y'all feeling today?
Good, man. Feel good. Chicago, rainy night. Halloween this Sunday. Very spooky.
It ain't y'all fellas dressing up this weekend, man. And y'all popping out, man. It's Chicago, man. Don't do that. Don't look, man. When I was there, we used to go out, man. We put some clothes on, throw some costumes on, go into the streets. I remember one year we went to Hyde Park, man. That man Don was out there like Rick Sanchez, man. That man was out there, man. But no plans for Halloween, no plans.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. No plans for Halloween, though, fellas. No plans for Halloween.
There's a few parties. I don't know if we going or not, though.
Okay. Well, it looked like the Chicago Bulls giving people nightmares, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Lonzo Ball, AC. I mean, they locking up at the guard position. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine averaging over 22 points a game. LaVine on a 25 points a game tip. Big Vooch in the middle, holding down with a strong double-double. But these boys are 4-0 right now. And I know it's early. It's super. That's not even a tenth of the season into the season. That's a real small percentage. But Chicago fans, we go hard for our teams. What are y'all early impressions on the Chicago Bulls?
Very impressed with. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You start.
No, I said I'm very impressed with how they starting off this season. They gelling. They clicking early.
Facts.
So, I think preseason stuff kind of like helped for them. Whatever they had going on really helped for them. But then also bringing Caruso and DeRozan over with some veteran experience. And then to pick up with Jones, I think they just got a solid bench, and the coach is doing a good job of rotating people. And they just gelling and clicking, so it's fun to watch. Like you said, it's the madness back on Madison, man. It's real.
It definitely is. The buzz got. I'm not even there right now. I when I come in a couple of weeks, I know I'm gonna feel a certain electricity. Because I know how, man, look, Chicago is a basketball city, man. Let's just keep it a buck. We talk about, the meccas of playing basketball in the United States. People gonna mention New York. They don't get Jersey some love. They don't give Cali some love now because of the new age hoopers. Kentucky is basketball USA in terms of just like, collegiate sports. But Chicago has always produced good basketball players. You're either gonna hoop outside, you can hoop inside, no matter what. You was a hooper, and then we just love our basketball team. Maya, look, man, I heard you and the Lakers are probably copping a Lonzo Ball jersey or a Zach LaVine jersey. Off camera, when we talk, you told me, look, stop selling so low on the Bulls and start selling high. Tell me why you selling high on the Bulls and why you believe in them so much this year.
I mean, kind of like what Don said, man. They gel quickly. You can see it all in the preseason. Like these guys is just really, they just play like they played like for 3 years or 4 years already. And then I think this tenure and his tenure in Chicago now, Lonzo, like the league is gonna get to appreciate him even more because I think he's been a big part of just, running the offense and playing defense for these Chicago Bulls, bro. Like that one play where you have I think who somebody blocked it, and then you got your point guard coming and block. It was against the Pistons. You got your point guard coming and finishing the block, and then running off to the break with Caruso and passing it to either DeRozan or Levine. That's nasty. Like these guys are athletic. They're gonna run up down the floor, and then even the defense is not even bad. Like me and Juan was just talking. Like Caruso is a huge factor on defense as well. It's like
it's on the Lakers already, man.
and throwing oops, Zoe throwing oops to Caruso, and then Zach and DeRozan finishing off games, and it's a very fun team, man. It's gonna be a very fun team to watch as the season go
on. Juan, we mentioned, the Caruso. I'm not gonna let him lose his nickname just because he's on the Bulls. We mentioned Zoe. I talked a little bit about Vooch. We talked to, we know about how much of a veteran presence DeMar DeRozan is. But we're gonna keep it a buck, Juan. You know what I'm saying? Juan got it. We're gonna keep it a real buck. We're gonna keep it a buck with our fans. That is Zach LaVine's team. Mm-hmm. So with it being Zach LaVine's team, Juan, do you really feel like he's ready to step into their role to lead a team and lead this Chicago Bulls team, into a top 4 playoff berth?
Right now, he's showing a lot of leadership, and he's stepping up into the role. Like, to me, he averaging right up around like 25 points a game, 5 rebounds, and right up around 4, maybe 5 assists a game, somewhere up in that range. But he right now, I ain't gonna lie, him and DeRozan that 1-2 punch, that's a nice 1-2 punch. But everybody pretty much hoping to know on their roles right now, they clicking. But I think it is LaVine time.
I got a question for you, folks. You think this team better than?
Yeah, born and raised, I'm excited. I want to see it. Okay. I think.
And shout out to AO too, man.
Okay. Yeah, shout out to Morgan Park right there.
The young bull, man. Shout out to the young bull. Mike, what you was saying?
You think Juan? You think this team better than the D Rose and Jimmy Butler teams in past?
And shout out to D Rose too tonight. They play on the Bulls tonight too, my boy. Shout out to my boy D Rose.
Yes, sir. Man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You say, do I think this is better than the D Rose team?
Yeah. D Rose and Jimmy.
I ain't gonna lie. Right now, it's a little bit too early to tell. Right now, that D Rose team fought a lot of battles with that Bron Heat team. So I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna wait till deeper on into the season to get that out.
That was a tough team, man. Bench mob, man. When you got the Ronnie Brewers. You had all those Taj Gibsons off the bench. Joe Kent was depoyed one of those years. You had Beijing Boozer. He was out there hooping and sweating his line off. You know what I'm saying? How he getting down? D Rose was, come on, man. We knew who the city savior was. You know what I'm saying? He just had so many pieces. Even Keith Bogus was a key piece for that team. So I will say that it is a little early, but I can't lie. This team just look young and fun and athletic and happy to play. They don't look stagnant on the court. They know what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And like Mike was saying, just to piggyback on what he said earlier, geez, Zoe just looked confident. Zoe didn't even look this confident in LA. He was drafted number 2 overall to the Lakers. That's what he wanted to go. That's what he wanted to go.
There was a lot of pressure, though.
Like, he was Mr. California in basketball in high school. Like, that's what he wanted to go. And now it's like he just looked really, really, really happy. He looked really confident, man. I'm just happy for the kid. I got a question to pose to y'all fellas, man. How many All-Stars the Bulls get to represent in the All-Star game for Chicago this year? That's a good one.
They may get about 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm with Don.
You got Ball for sure.
I think 3 for sure.
You got Zach for sure. You mess around and get DeRozan too.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, Lonzo. I don't think. I ain't gonna lie, Lonzo
You
is.
don't think who, Lonzo?
Yeah. Hey, but DeRozan definitely gonna get up in there though.
I think Lonzo gonna make it with. Yeah, he gonna make it, man. They balling. They leaving it on the court. He been balling, man. He been in every game they had. He been in a highlight on SportsCenter.
Hey, you know, Levine. That's for sure.
I think the biggest thing is because I agree with Don and Juan. You know, you got Zach and DeRozan. Them like giving.
I'm gonna agree with this. I'm gonna do Zach and Vooch because Vooch is just he a big, and you need bigs in an All-Star game, and they always because you get voted in by position no matter what. No matter what, you get voted in by position. So I see him getting in. So Zach and Vooch. That third one is tough. Is either do you get Zoe as a reserve or do you get DeRozan as a reserve? But I'm listening, Mike. I'm with you. Go ahead.
I'm saying though, I don't know about Zoe. Like I think he's a very big pivotal part of this team. It's just like we gotta look at the guards. Like what other guards is ahead of Zoe right now? Like if we look at just right now in the East, I mean, he could get it because Chicago.
Him and his brother running it right now, right?
Yeah. Melo definitely gonna be all.
He's definitely going. Melo's definitely going.
Yeah, so I think he could. It just depends on like if Drew come back, is he gonna be all?
If Kyrie and Big come back, those two spots is gone.
Kyrie and Big, and then we still got Trey, we still got Bill. It all depends. But right now he could get it if these niggas, like Chuck said, if Kyrie and Big stay out, oh yeah, you getting that.
I like that. Okay, so we all in the range about that, 2 to 4. Don say screw all that. He said 4. 4 out the door. He ain't trying to hit. He need 4 representatives for the All-Star game for the Chicago Bulls. Y'all let us know in the comments below, man. How many Chicago Bulls representatives will be at the All-Star game this year? Well, not this year, but this season, next year for the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, man, it's just like I said, it's an exciting time. It's a fun time for Chicago Bulls fans. So let's just be premature. Let's be thirsty. Let's piggyback off our last show. Now that we got 2 of our other hosts in here, Coach Don, Juan Gotti, where y'all got the Bulls finishing, man? Me and Maya gave our takes. I believe, Maya, I don't want to quote you wrong, but I think me and you had them in between that 4 and 6 range. You know what I'm saying? In between that 3. So 4 or 5 for you, 5, 6 for me. 4 or 5 for you, 5, 6 for me. I'm gonna start with you, Juan. Where do you have the Bulls finishing this year when it's all said and done? When the regular season ends, going into the postseason.
I mean, in that 1 right now, but it's for sure early. But I ain't gonna lie. I just gotta speak on 3 teams that I think definitely for sure gonna be in that top 3 range, which I think is gonna be the Heat, Nets, and Bucks. But I ain't gonna lie, around in that 4, 6 area, I think that's definitely where they could be sitting by the end of the year. No cap. Because you know how it is when it's early, things just gotta, teams just gotta tighten up. People gotta lock in, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't lie, but before that's nice though. That's improvement on the previous year.
From not making the playoffs to making fourth seed, that's crazy.
That's a jump. That's kind of what is that. That's what the Atlanta Hawks did last year. I think the year before last, they didn't make the playoffs. They were like 9th or 10th seed, and last year they ended up being a top 4 seed. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big jump. Coach, talk to us, man. You evaluate talent. You know the game.
I'm gonna go ahead and just jump out on a limb here, man. Nothing crazy. You ain't gotta do all that, Maya. Coach Maya, you ain't gotta do that.
Clickbait. Here we go. Clickbait.
I put them like top in that 4th seed.
That ain't crazy,
but
bro.
I think the way they playing is like people knowing that they just can't come in there and play with them boys. Because they come into play. So like by them setting the tone like that, like they setting the tone. So like you gotta get on their level. Now, I don't know they can keep it up, it's going to be something nice to see. But if they keep playing like this, I definitely give them like in that top 4. No less than 5.
We all sitting in that 4 to 6 range with the Chicago Bulls finishing, and we gonna follow them all season. We Chicago, man. So no matter what, we gonna check in, and when every show that we do that's basketball wise, we gonna have to talk about the Chicago Bulls, because come on now, they the hottest thing right now. Nobody want to talk about the Bears. The White Sox broke our heart a couple weeks ago. The Blackhawks, don't know if y'all been following. They got sexual allegations going on right now. When the past, when 2018, like the Sky. Now we happy about the Sky. So right now, Chicago, we just want to care about hoops. All we want to do is care about basketball. So if it ain't the ladies hooping and they celebrate their championship and we celebrating it with them, we gonna talk Chicago Bulls, because every other Chicago team is just dookie right now.
The Wolves killing too. I was talking to one of the managers earlier. They've been killing, and they invited us to a game. So
they said you can try out if you want to. They said if you want to try out, you can go ahead. You should.
I can skate on the ice, but not with all that equipment on. They go. Never mind. This ain't the time to play.
All right, so let's flip it over, man. Since Don almost gave us some funny, man. Let's flip it over to the other side of the conference. Let's talk about the team and the hat that he's wearing, man. He's one of the most avid Golden State Warrior fans that I know. And we just talked about the Chicago Bulls being 4-0 and possibly being 5-0 tonight after they finish playing the New York Knicks and Derrick Rose and that squad, the old Bulls team. We call them the Chicago Knicks. You know what I'm saying? They got Taj on their team. Tibbs over there. They got Derrick on their team. But we're gonna flip it to the other conference, the Western Conference, man. And our other free game host, our other boy, man, he had chats rocking. He had the comments rocking. He had people hitting us up talking about, was he drunk? Was he under the influence? Why did he pick the Warriors to be number 1? And if it all ended today, if all of the chips was on the line, Marquise McCoy would have been right.
Double down.
The Golden State Warriors are number 1 in the West right now as the season has progressed. I got to go to Don first. Being a real Warriors fan, not a fake one like some of our people that we know. No shade, But how do you feel about, man, Stephen Curry is posting career high rebound totals. The man averaging like 8-9 boards a game. He went 30 on his back. He dropping 30 in the bucket at night, no matter what. Don't care what's going on. The man is leading his team. Maya, you had Jordan Poole winning MIP. You know what I'm saying? He's contributing right now. Draymond looked like he got a backpack on, but it ain't heavy this time. It ain't got wheels on it. It ain't got it's a little light. It's a little sack on his back. He getting his jump shot off. But Don, your Golden State Warriors right now have not looked like the Golden State Warriors of last year. They look like they're getting off to a fast start. What are your impressions so far?
Are you a real
man? Of course. You said what?
You a real Warriors fan?
Knock it off, bro.
How long you been a Warriors fan?
Probably since y'all knew me.
Get the people out there some history though. We know you, but do they?
I'm just trying to. We're just trying to read.
Go on Facebook and check the stats, man. No, but I think Steph has always been phenomenal. But I think he got a solid supporting cast to whereas he ain't afraid to get that ball up. He ain't got to take all the shots. Poole has been a demon. He been on demon time, man. And then with the 1-2 punch with Draymond Green, and let me make sure I say his name right. Bazalika. I think I'm screwing his name, but
you butchering a little bit, but it's okay,
Big boy balling, and he giving that ball up.
I call him Balenciaga. Man.
I think they who is it?
He said he called him Balenciaga.
Balenciaga. No, it's like Balika.
Yeah, it's Valencia. Yeah, something like
that. No,
but
I think people are not afraid to step up. Everybody coming in and they know they role and they just hooping. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of scary right now with them playing this good without two big factors, you know, and Klay and Wiseman. So, and they come back like, you know, it's gonna be back to the drawing board for a lot of teams, man. If they can keep gelling and clicking like they doing, it's gonna be some dope to see, man.
Maya, this past offseason, the NBA and the refs implemented the rule. You know, one player that me and you really appreciate and we believe is the third best shooting guard of all time, no matter what. Dwyane Wade made a move very popular to where when you get into your shooting stance and before you really leave but you gather and pump fake and you let the defender come, you draw them in, and you know, and you get some cheat points. You know, that's what you call them. You can call them cheat points. That's been changed. That has been completely tossed out. Like, we're not doing that no more. It seems like Stephen Curry is the only one that's adjusted to it. James Harden is struggling with it. You know what I'm saying? The people, the usual suspects.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that he hasn't been effective.
You know what I'm saying? The usual suspects are struggling with it. Stephen Curry is like, bro, pump fake or not, I got a 30, I got a 40 clip on me. No matter what, I got double barrel clip. I'm running around with 2 Mac 10s and I'm shooting stuff. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about Steph Curry and his adjustment to that rule? And like, man, can he actually win MVP this year after a lot of people felt like he got snubbed last year?
I think it's kind of early to call that, but we got to wait to see a little bit more in the season. Probably a little bit before, like around Christmas break or something like that. You know, we can call that. It's kind of early for that. But I think that I think Harden is not getting those double teams. You know what I mean? So it's really like one-on-one type of closeout defense that's being put on him. And the lens is really on Harden. So it's like he can't sell that lean in or draw into a player like a Steph could, because Steph still got like 2 defenders on him. So, I mean, even though he ain't really going for it, but he still got like 2 defenders on him. And he's still gonna let it fly. Like, so he's not playing for the foul, he's playing for the play. So.
Exactly. The biggest thing with Steph, just like you said, he don't play for the foul. It's like, it was never like, all right, Steph is gonna have like 20 or some free throws. He always gonna come in and pull that joint up from half. He then might pull that joint from the other free throw line if he could. But
what your boy told me yesterday? I pulled that from the logo.
Yeah,
what he tell him? I ain't missed one yet.
That's how Steph feeling. So Steph doesn't really play for the foul at all. But also, just to comment off Chuck's question is, you know, just if Steph stays in that, if GSW stays in that top 5, top 4 spot, he'll win MVP. Yeah,
that's what hurt him last year, right? I remember me talking about 4 months ago. What hurt him was that you can't give an MVP to a 9 seed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't do it. So, but yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, if he stay in there, but I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, if he stay top 5, it definitely is. So, but like Don said, we'll see how it continues to go during the season and things like that. But yeah, I mean, like Don said, it's a better supporting cast. Jordan Poole, I got him MIP averaging like 15 right now, 15 points. That's good. He didn't have that last year. You know, he had a bunch of. He is really some of the same niggas, but I feel like they didn't got experience and more tenure under them to where they like, all right, let's help Steph. And Steve Kerr has really adjusted to where, you know, like it ain't just always about Steph. Like the first game, Steph was shooting horrible, but he still had a triple-double. And so
yeah, he did.
So that's very big. And just to also comment about the James Harden foul, you know, things like James is.
Can we hold on to it? Because I want to talk. I want to talk Lakers Los Angeles Lakers a little later in the show, and I want to get one take. But I'm gonna go directly to you, Maya, because I know that James Harden is affecting you more than anybody else on this panel. Because if we mention Russell Westbrook, you know it's gonna affect me more than anybody else on this panel right now. But let's get to Juan real quick. Let's talk about somebody that his effect on the court when he's playing is always plus and not negative. Klay Thompson is scheduled to come back around holiday time. So maybe Christmas, maybe New Year, but we'll see Klay Thompson rejoin his splash brother and Stephen Curry around holiday time. Juan, what will Klay Thompson do for this team when he come back?
I ain't gonna lie. Could we be looking at the Warriors that was before that without could we be seeing? Yeah.
Oh,
they ain't got no Harrison.
And one thing I didn't add to that too, man, is Iggy back.
They depth. Yep, Iggy back. They got them depth.
He bringing definitely some veteran experience. He ain't trying to take nobody's slot or nothing like that, but he leaving it on the court. And then Wiggins, a lot of people sleep on. They don't give my man Wiggins. He gonna give you a quiet 15 to 20.
He's bum.
And he playing defense.
Wiggins.
He ain't no bum, man.
Like it's gonna be big too, though.
When he get drafted, folks, since he ain't no bum.
You say who?
What position he get drafted since he ain't no bum?
You said what?
What position did he get drafted? Where did he get drafted at in the NBA draft? That he not a bum. He went. Where did he go? What number did he go in the draft?
One.
No, I'm just asking. You should know. Just what number did he go? What number he go, man?
He went one, man.
Went number one.
He's a bum.
He's a bum. He plays a good team now, but that man is a bum.
And the biggest thing with Andrew, he just ain't never go into his potential.
How I go. The game don't translate from college to NBA sometimes so well. You gotta keep working it. Until you
Melo translated, KD translated. Every number one I know that came out of college was big time translated, man. I mean, it's a bum.
Hey, Wiggins just lazy.
But man, if Steph gonna average 29 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and his PER be around 26, he could be as bum as he want to be.
Right. All he got to do out there is play defense and hit a couple corner threes and call it a night.
No cap.
But yeah, Klay Thompson, man, I don't want to say that this team gets back to that prime Golden State, I guess era. You know, that time where they were just like the face of California, where they were just the face of the NBA. The West get sticky. Those rounds in the playoffs get sticky. It ain't sweet no more. Ja ain't putting Steph out of Klay back how he back. I'm gonna be excited because I think the NBA, man, it ain't the same, man, without Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. The Splash Brothers, as a Laker fan, gave me so many headaches for so many years. And it's like to have Klay back. And then Klay just one of my favorite personalities. He just a nonchalant, don't care. He gonna talk trash to you, but it's like, man, bro, you got a 60 off of a couple dribbles, bro. Like, you stupid, bro. Like, you stupid crazy. Like, so I do think that when Klay comes back, they're gonna be a whole nother animal. Fellas, any thoughts on Klay Thompson before we move along?
Man, it's tough, bro. It's like you suffer a torn Achilles and a torn ACL. It's tough. That's tough on the body. And you know, I've been the main one that was rooting for KD when he went through his Achilles, but to suffer both is like, and you haven't played in like 2 years. That's very tough. So, but we always know shooters gonna shoot. Shooters gonna always shoot. The jump shot never goes away, but it's like that defensive presence. And even
I was gonna get to that. I like that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, even just like the mobility that Klay had. Like you said, like 60 off 5 dribbles. Like he's still gonna be able to run around screens and elevate
around, and you know how you got to do cuts on them back screens, and that's your knee got to turn like that, Joe. Your Achilles got to move like that. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
So it's like, is he still gonna maneuver and do those things? I don't know. It's like we got to see if he is. Klay, you one dangerous nigga, bro. If you come off off these 2 injuries and still is the same Klay Thompson. Game 6 Klay is legendary. He's legendary. So if he's coming off and still being that same guy, like Juan said, we could be looking at some 2016, 2015 Warriors, man.
Don, what are your expectations for your Golden State Warriors, man? Now, if you could take your bias and you can ball it up and you can just stick it in your back pocket for a quick take, and then you can just sit there as a coach, as a realist, because sometimes with our favorite teams, as you would say, we be thinking here, but not thinking here. You know what I'm saying?
I was just going to hit on that. I think physically, he's smart enough to know, kind of push the envelope. But I think with Klay, it's more so going to be mental. With those back-to-back injuries, we've seen from a bunch of takes of what he's doing in practice. I haven't really seen. Just going through drills and stuff like that. I haven't really seen any on-court stuff like that, anything like that. But I think for Klay, it's going to be more mental, And hopefully you do come back and it's clicking, man. And we add Poole to the Splash Bros, man. We got the Splash Brothers, man. That'll be nasty.
But Don, too, I ain't gonna lie with Klay. I think it's gonna be more of a mental thing because shooters gonna shoot. Like Maya said, shooters is gonna shoot, and he's one of the greatest shooters we done ever seen. So it'll be hard for me to see him coming back and just
dry. Be dry. Yeah, that don't even.
So it'd be a more mental thing for me.
I can't do that. And I think that's one thing you just, like you said, we all saying the same thing. We just saying it different ways. Yeah. And once a shooter, you always a shooter. I think Reggie could still put some gym shoes on and knock down a couple threes in a row. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like Steve Kerr doing it in practice. I bet if Bird put down the jelly sandwiches and the PBR beers and got on the bike a couple times, I feel like he can splash something down a couple times. So I feel like that's gonna be there. But my biggest concern is just echoing what Mike said, man. That man was a defender. He was a two-way. He was a two-way basketball player. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Klay was locking people up. That's his most underrated part of his game. People don't want to talk about. He saved Curry so many times because he was at the guard position with Curry playing defense. Those times when they'd go against the CP3s, they'd go against the Dame Lillards. You know what I'm saying? They'd go against the Kyrie Irvings. Who was guarding them? It's Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying? So if Klay ain't got that, that physicality due to a torn Achilles, or previously torn Achilles, or previously rehabbing from a torn ACL, that's going to be tough. But you know what I'm saying? People adjust their game. They get older. They get smarter. They get wiser. So we will see. Well, all we do know right now is it stands. Chicago Bulls are 4-0. Golden State Warriors are 4-0.
It's only up for the Warriors too, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm just saying it's only up for the Warriors too. They, like you said, Klay, and then also James Wiseman. See how he play.
Yeah. That sophomore season is always interesting for a lot of people. It's either going to be that big splash you want, or it's either going to be one of those, sophomore slumps. It's a phrase for a reason, having a sophomore slump. But let's kick it back to the East. Remember, you watch a free game. We ain't talking basketball, man. We just want to go around the NBA, circle around the wagons, talk about a little bit of basketball for you lovely fans that check us out. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to all of our content on all of our social media handles. Watch all of our previous podcasts on YouTube as well. All you gotta do is type in Free Game Podcast, man. You know the logo, you know the sign, you know your host. Let's make it happen, man. I want to go back to the East. And I want everybody to pull it up right now. Let's look at the top 8 teams as it stands right now in the East. And as I go down this list, the Chicago Bulls are 4-0, so they're 1. But we were just talking about off camera about Lonzo, his damn little brother, the wild child, the swaggiest of them, the most sellable out of all of them. The Charlotte Hornets are number 2 in the East at a 4-1 record, and they've beaten good teams. not just little, pushover teams. They'd be good teams. And LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges look amazing together. Fellas, what's y'all take on the Hornets so far, man? Just quick takes real quick.
They beat Jeremiah.
Say that again.
So what?
They beat they Jeremiah Brooklyn Nets.
That man, Miles Bridges had to get in James Harden pockets.
I gave him a
360 one time.
Yeah, man, that's cute. But I don't know, bro. Melo getting into his bag, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. He coming off on his first signature shoe, hooping with his first signature shoe. And then we talking about MIP still. Miles Bridges is making a great case for that. Yeah, I'm getting like 26.
Talk your talk. There you go. That's the mic I know. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm like, bro, you averaging like 26? That's crazy, bro. It's like, folks, that connection with him and LaMelo is very cold too, though.
Sticky. It's real sticky, man. It's good to see that team be good, man. Because it's like, for so long, when y'all thought about the Hornets, what was the one player you thought of in the last 10 years? I'm gonna put y'all on the test right now. I'm gonna put y'all under the heater in the hot seat. When you think of the Hornets of the last 10 years, what was the one player you thought about?
Gotta be Davis or CP3.
Kemba.
CP3.
Kemba. 10 years ago.
Davis.
Kemba Walker was the face of the Hornets for the last 10 years before he left. CP3 was a little before that, you know what I'm saying? But we just saying for the last decade, who was the face of the Hornets? So, they put a lot of stock in Kemba. Kemba gets shipped out. He go bounce around a little bit. Now he back home in New York. But to have LaMelo Ball go there, man, well, most people don't think that's an attractive destination. You know what I'm saying? Most people think, going to that city, going to play for the Hornets, not the market and the franchise you want to go. And for him to be the face, like I was watching Tim Legler from ESPN and a couple other guys talk like, hey man, believe it or not, he could be the face of the NBA in a couple years. Like you talking about just being just a likable guy. Like I say, sellable. He's a point guard that's 6'7", 6'8". Hey bro, the man probably not even done growing. You get what I'm saying? Like the man probably ain't even done growing. So it's like he has the opportunity to be the face of the NBA. I just feel good. And I'm happy for Jordan. I hope he locked that man Melo up for a long time. Don't let him go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Give him whatever he wants. Give him every Lambo in range. Give him the keys to the city. Whatever you got to do, man. I think LaMelo is that guy. Let's move it along because we got a lot of more teams to get to. The Knicks are 3. The Heat are 4. Let's stop right there. The New Look Heat with Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, PJ Tucker. Fellas, how y'all feel about the Miami Heat after having a disappointing season last year?
This the Heat that I was looking for last year to play Giannis in the playoffs. This is the Heat I've been looking for. And going back to MIPs again, Tyler Hero, 21, man. He averaging 21 points. And they dog walked the Milwaukee Bucks one game, and then they again beat KD and them, bro. So that put a smile on your face, huh? But
you see, that's right. Don't worry, we'll get to our team so you can get yours off. Don't worry.
But yeah, man, this is the team that I was looking for to be the top threat against Brooklyn. But right now they're looking like honestly the top team in the East. I know we talked about the Bulls being number 1, but these guys have a very strong potential to be number 1 when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm. And I honestly think that's because the offseason acquisitions of like Kyle Lowry and people like PJ Tucker. And, they got people like Victor Oladipo that's coming back from injuries and stuff like that. So they just putting it all together right now.
Yeah, that's a deep ass team.
They're gonna make some trades.
I was playing against them on 2K like last night or something. So I'm sitting there like, man, I got this man Bam guarding me, then Jimmy guard me, then PJ guard me, then this. I'm like,
they pass you.
How many motherfuckers on this roster, man? Damn, like the team is really deep. So if they stay healthy, you know what I'm saying? They stay healthy. Remember the year before, they the one that knocked out the defending champs of the league right now. So I agree with y'all. Y'all both making valid points. I'm just echoing what y'all saying. But I still want to push it along. Hopefully, when Coach Don come in, maybe he can give his thoughts on the Heat.
What about real
go
quick
ahead.
though?
Yeah.
Oladipo, y'all think they're gonna trade Oladipo? It's like they stacked, bro. They're like, you don't even need folks, really.
I think when he come back, he gonna be amazing. Like he gonna be it's gonna be even crazier.
It's like you keep him, right? It's like you keep him on the roster and you just I don't know, man. I would want if I'm Oladipo, I stay because I want to play for a winner.
Right, exactly.
Where else he gonna go? Like you don't see the Heat dealing him to a contender. Why you're not gonna deal him in the same conference? So you're not gonna deal him to the Bucks. The Bulls ain't got space for him. The Hornets not a good look for him because he's an injury-prone guy. It's like stay with this veteran team, play your role, do what you're supposed to do, be big in the playoffs, and possibly have a chance of making the finals like the Heat did a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. But Maya, if you feel like he need to be trade bait, if you feel like they need to dangle his ass, hey, we got him on the block. What's up?
It's just a lot of pieces on there, bro. It's a lot of pieces on there.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think even, if they was just to get, but like you said, if they trade him, they're going to even be even more stacked. But I think Oladipo, he's the type of guy, he needs the ball in his hands to, to produce. Because like we've seen years in the past, when he went to OKC, he played off ball. He didn't play too well playing with Russ. But maybe, I don't know, they might, when he come back, he might have the ball more in his hands playing with Jimmy and Cal because they're really not scorers like that. Jimmy just want to win. Cal is a veteran guard. So, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But
we'll see. I definitely agree with that. So, right below them is the Wizards. The Atlanta Hawks will be 6th right now. The defending NBA champions had a tough one last night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Edwards hit him with a strong and one. Funny joke in the post, the presser. He said, look, man, that nigga 7'2", me 280. You can throw 6 bodies at that nigga. Ain't no stopping him. Yeah. Giannis is Giannis, you know what I'm saying? It was cool to see him get him love too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna say and talk no trash. Greet that man. We can't, nobody with him. You know what I'm saying? So, but just to pull it back around, man, the defending champs right now is sitting 7th. Again, this is just early, premature clickbait talks. I know they're going to get it together. I got them finishing 1st in the East. I said that. I said that on the last show. But how y'all feel about the Milwaukee Bucks right now? They had a big opening night win against the Brooklyn Nets. And since then, it's been a little, it's been a little here and there. Milwaukee Bucks sitting at 7. Y'all think they're going to be straight? Y'all think they're going to be good? Will they have the championship hangover or they going to get back to it? And they'll probably represent the East again. And what y'all think?
I think it's just a little early. So, yeah, I think eventually they're going to slide their way back up to the top. Because they not playing bad. I think they losing some tough games. So, I think right now it's just a little too early for us to be judging. I think when it slides towards Christmas time, around that time, they'll be back at the top.
I guess I think, like Juan said, they're not losing bad. They're not like bad losses. It's just like, don't go back to what you was last year, Even though they won the chip, they won it by the grace of God. But just being real, man, like the Bucks, they lose a lot of, they used to lose a lot of games when they should have won those games. Like they played basketball down to their competition. So it's like, I think they're having like a fight with their DNA. Like, don't go back to your DNA, man. Let's create a new strand. Let's not go in and wet the bed like we usually do. So like Juan said, it's too early to tell. And they're not losing bad games.
They're not. They not.
But
they should have won last night, though. I will say I was watching that game. They should have definitely won last night. But it's like it's early, man. You got to get the kinks out. This is the real NBA now. I was talking to a close friend.
Real NBA.
One of my other chats is like, it's not posters in the stands no more. It's not cutout cardboards of humans. It's not virtual TV screens everywhere. No, the league is back. Niggas getting drunk. Niggas fighting in the stands. People screaming. People taking their shirt off. Like it's lit. Like it's back to real NBA. So I think people are just adjusting to like, man, this different. This ain't open gym no more. Like we gotta get back to hooping. You know what I'm saying? So I think people just adjusting. I think the powerhouse is gonna be fine. And that leads me to the ultimate powerhouse of the East. The team that I wanted to talk about before we flip to the West. The team that is the Vegas favorite to win the NBA championship before the season started. The team that's got one of the coldest NBA players to ever touch the earth. A guy that I respect, Kevin Durant. I do. I admire. I've never slandered him. I think he's an amazing basketball player. I only joked with him last year because I like to see KD get put to bed by Greek, but that was just fun. It was just all out of troll. But they got one of the coldest players in the game, man. They got one of the coldest scorers in the game, and James Harden as well. They are technically 11th in the East right now. They are 2-3. You could tell it's just dysfunction. Harden is averaging like 17 points a game. 17 points a game is like rookie, sophomore year coming off the bench, James Harden. Maya, I'm coming straight to you, and I'm going right to Don because I see it in Don's face. He ready. I see it. He ready. And then why? I'm gonna let you finish this conversation off. What the hell is going on with the Brooklyn Nets right now?
It's a plethora of things, man. But like we talked about earlier, it's the main thing with James Harden is fighting the foul calls, trying to get foul calls. He was the poster boy of that. He had niggas guarding him with their hands behind their back. So the league finally was like, all right, we're gonna patch this. We're gonna go ahead and patch this joint.
We're gonna patch this.
They nerfed Harden, bro. They nerfed Harden. Like, he's not the strongest gun in the game no more, bro. They nerfed him, bro. So yeah, he's gotta just go ahead and play like Don said, just play for the bucket. Like we know you can get buckets, bro. Just going back to between your legs. And right now we need you. Because I can't find you right now. You're gone. This is not the same James Harden. Kyrie is gone. So go ahead and be that James. KD needs it. But it's also like, I know he was talking about, he didn't get a good chance to play five and practice that much during the offseason. Like he was rehabbing from his hamstring. So just like we talked about Tay, it's probably, not Tay, but Klay, it's more of like a mental thing with Harden, I think. Also, like you can also tell if you're looking at these games, this man not playing 100%, bro. Like he's not putting in his 100% effort. Like one-on-one, he's killing somebody, no doubt. And I think he's just trying to get fouls just to ease his way in and just be like, okay, and just see what he can do and be like, all right, I can do this, I can do that. But then also it's like, Patty, you're a great pickup, bro. I love Patty has been clutch. But like besides KD, Patty, and
Blake,
and Blake
been hooping.
None of these niggas scoring, bro. Ain't nobody scoring. I looked at
Millsap and Dookie.
I think it was like the second or first game. I look at the box score. Besides the starting five, really even besides those three names I just called, it's like, bro, none of these niggas got over 3 points.
Gee, it's like somebody legit robbed Joe Harris of his jumper. Like I'm talking about, they put a Tech 9 to his side and said, folks, give me all your jumper. Give me all your jumper. And if you leave a little bit jumper in you, I promise you I'm blowing your hand off. Folks gave a whole bag. He gave a whole bag away. You can have it. You have every shooting attribute I've ever had. Joe Harris is not the same Joe Harris, bro. I just don't get it. So I agree with you, man. They have been leaving Kevin Durant out to dry. He got to be Superman until Harden figure it out or until Kyrie come back.
Folks, he MVP form right now, man. He got a triple-double, second league leader in scoring.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Go ahead, keep going crazy. I know you can turn it up another notch, bro. But that's all I got to say, man.
Don, you were a big KD fan when he played for your Golden State Warriors. When he came and joined Joe Boy Steph and led y'all to a few more championships. So I've seen you root for him every once in a while. Now he's not a Golden State Warrior no more. He a Brooklyn Net. He a op to you. You know what I'm saying? And at this point now, what are your take on the Nets? What the Nets got to do to figure it out, Coach? Like what they gotta what do they have to, what does Steve Nash have to do to get his troops going? Because right now it do not look good.
I think Harden got to forget about this whole getting into that free throw line. Folks been to the free throw line like 12 times. that's like an ultimate low for folks since like he's with OKC or something. And then I think Kyrie really is messing up the whole big three chemistry that Brooklyn is supposed to have. Like mentally, people are not able to fill those shoes, which is, Kyrie's one hell of a player, but it's like they ain't doing nothing. There ain't nobody producing like y'all said. Like niggas did Space Jam these niggas for their jumper and everything. Like so, it's crazy, right? Because like, man, they messing people parlays up. I wish Cher was on here. They is screwing people over, man. They losing money on these people, man. All because Riri on this Meta World Peace right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I was listening. We check in with our podcast and we listen to other people's shows. Ain't gonna give them too many shout outs. But one of the ESPN analysts, Marcus Spears, was saying, like, how do you replace 25, 26 points a game? Yeah, you can't do that by bringing in a Paul Millsap and a Patty Mills and another player. Like, it don't work like that. The rotations don't work like that. The game plan don't work like that. The strategy don't work like that. It's hard to replace 25 bona fide points a game. Not only that,
they would need another piece.
He make those buckets and when he make them in the game.
They would need another piece because what's gonna happen for KD is, man, he won't be able to do that the entire season. And then, like Maya said, with Harden not really being 100%, probably physically and mentally, while he's still trying to figure out, like, hey, this okie doke ain't working. Like, that's causing Fool to not be as confident in, the game that he has. So it's putting a lot of pressure on KD. And, he can score about, 30, whatever. But then what are you going to do on the defensive end, He still got to get back. So, like, man, they going to need something, though, man, before All-Star break, man. Hopefully return this thing around, or they can shop a guard or something that could kind of fill that void for them.
I agree with you though, Don.
Yeah,
that was the net safety blanket before I let Juan go. It's like that was their safety blanket, bro. Like they didn't have defense, they just go ahead and just outscore you. Like they're not gonna worry about defense.
So Juan, if it's one thing that you want to see, is King James host a trophy. But if King James don't host a trophy, the other thing you want to see is the Brooklyn Nets get their ass beat. That's all you care about. Them the only two things you care about in the NBA. If they King James getting number 5 and he hoisting how he hoisting, you want to see the Brooklyn Nets fail. I gotta get into it, Juan. I gotta hear it, man. Is it panic button time for the Brooklyn Nets?
As much as I hate me some black and white jerseys, I'm gonna have to say, man, I don't think it really is panic time, man. I think it's just early on in the season. Just calm down and just play his game, and I think he eventually will, no cap. Because we talking about a guy who's like one of the top scorers in NBA history. Not just his era, but everybody era. Like we ain't never seen this before. So I think it's just gonna take a little time because he didn't have off season like Maya said because of the hamstring. He didn't get a chance to really run and play, like 5-on-5s and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna take a little time. And like other teams, right around Christmas break, it's gonna look a lot different. We might get a Kyrie. Never know.
Yeah, you never know. Folks might switch around. He might find a vaccine that's made in Swahili, over in at the motherland. He might find the juices and berries. He might mix it up for him. He might make his own vaccine and he might come back. Who knows? But before we flip to the West Conference, we close the show out because we don't want to hold y'all too long because we have to talk about the West. We have to talk about my Los Angeles Lakers and their blunders right now, and we have to talk about a few teams in the standings. Let's just talk about it. Let's get to it. Let's not be shy about it. We mentioned it a couple times. If this continues to go on for a while, we get past Thanksgiving break, the Nets still sitting at 500. We get to that Christmas showdown, the Nets still kind of sitting at 500. Hey man, what we gonna do with Kyrie? What's the if you sit in that GM spot, you sit in that top dog spot, you TDE, you making the moves, you making the decisions. What's gonna happen if Kyrie don't get us together and help this Brooklyn Nets team? Because James Harden didn't come there to not contend for a championship. KD did not come there he came there to play with Kyrie and to contend for a championship. You know what I'm saying? What do you do? Do you keep sitting and waiting on Kyrie? Oh man, you get that nigga the hell up out of there. What do you do if you sit in that space?
I think it depends on what the standings. So it'd be like that type of deal. Like if they need to move, then I think they gonna have to move them. But if it's not, then I think it's just a sitting and keep waiting and being patient game, which I think is bogus because he getting paid for these games that he's missing, which I think is crazy.
Guaranteed Buckaroos, cash me out. I need it.
Need to though. I don't think they will. It's Kyrie Irving. Who don't like? I'll keep that in my back pocket too.
Facts. Fellas, how y'all feel?
Oh man.
Just want y'all to touch on the Kyrie saga a little bit. Just a little bit, man. Let's not shy away from it. Give me how you feel if you were sitting in that GM spot, man. You running an organization. You running a franchise. You ain't got time for all this political, this personal stuff. You are trying to run a business. What would you do, man?
Yeah, as a GM, you got to do what you got to do. You got to look at your options, man. If I'm Danny Ainge, you would have been gone. But we talking about, GM of the Nets. We talk about the GM of the Nets, man. You got Katie in your ear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try my best to recruit. You can even see his post-game interview last night. He was like, "I know what you want me to say. Like, we need Kai.
We miss Uncle Drew. Yeah, man. Like, come on now.
You need him." So it's like, I know KD is trying his best behind the scenes to be like, "Yo, bro, hope you straight. Take how many days you want." But it's really like, nigga, we need you now. Hurry up. Like, we need you. And so it's like, even if you was to trade Cap, what team is going to bite on that player? I feel like it's not because, in my opinion, I feel like, because he already went through the stance of like, took that hiatus last season out of nowhere. Like, I need to just take this break. And now it's like, I'm fighting for the people that's like losing their jobs because of vaccination. It's like, bro, like, you just focus on basketball and just work. Come and do your job. Like Juan said, you're getting paid for these games, bro. Just go ahead and do your job. So it's like, I don't think a team is going – he's such a wild card. You don't know what you're going to get. Like, this nigga could come in and be like, I am Kobe's predecessor. And then the next day he wants to be Martin Luther King or something, Malcolm X, bro. Like, you don't know what you're going to get from him. You said, well, Juan?
Yo, the Rafiki, he want to bring a stick to work.
bringing the stick to work, bro. Like, you don't know what you gonna get from this guy,
Look
bro.
deeper.
Moses
Look
says
deeper.
Moses. He could keep from the Bible.
Speaking of what Mo's calling the time traveling sage, like this man don't know. He don't know what he wanted to be, bro. So it's like, bro, let's focus on back. And it's like me and Chevy was talking about this when we was on ATL. Like, I never seen a nigga. We never seen a nigga that just try to fight and oppress the NBA. Like they just oppressing him.
That nigga's Malcolm X.
They give you millions of dollars, bro.
The Black Messiah. I don't know what's up with him, Don. I gotta hear it from you, man. And because like for me, and I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna let Don close us out on this so we can swap over to the West, and we're gonna get a little crazy with the West, and we're gonna get up out of here. But for me, it's like I can't as a GM, if I'm sitting those, I can't play around, man. It's deeper than just that being KD's friend, man. I got a business to run. I got jerseys to sell. I got seats to fill. I got stadiums to fill out. I got hands I done shook. I got, partnerships I done made. I done got guaranteed contracts about these guys doing this and that. I ain't got time to be playing with the new Jehovah Jireh. Like I ain't got time to be playing with folks. I ain't got time to be fooling with dude, man. So like I just want to hear from you. You being the oldest out of all of us, you being a made man, businessman, you got your own business. Shout out to Venture Zero. Man, what you do, man? If you sit in those seats, what you do?
Man, business. It's all about the business. And man, I've been watching Succession, man. Fool gonna have to ride, bro. I'm gonna be smart about it. He going to the West. I'm gonna trade him to the West. He ain't gonna be in the East, but
hey, that's real. That's real. Hot take, real quick. It's a team in the West that's got a coach that Kyrie really like playing for. And I was talking to a couple other friends about this. I just love that we kind of be, synced up and saying the same thing without saying it. I can see Kai going to go play for Ty Lue, man. I can see Kai going to help out Claude and helping out PG and going to play for the Clippers, man. I can see Kai suiting up 4 times a year to play against Bron in the West, man, to see who really owns Staples. My lady was saying something when we was talking. If y'all ain't know, Kai just had a baby. Like he just had a baby. Like Shorty focused on his family. Shorty focused on his religion. Shorty focused on this as activist. Him being an activist and fighting for the movement. I agree with you, man. If you move him to the West, man, you don't move him nowhere in the East. You know what I'm saying? You do not want to play that nigga a couple times in the East. You don't want him to torch you in the playoffs because you're gonna bush him out of there. Because we seen how he treated the Celtics every time he saw them again. You seen how he treated the Cavs every time he saw them again when he played for the Celtics as well. So it's like, man, you get him up out of your conference, man. You push him to the West, man. You get him up out of there. That's just a little sneaky little throw in, like maybe the Clippers, if it's possible, if we just talking possible trade rumors, and if I'm right, we can go ahead and just run this back when we run it back. But, it's possibly the Clippers. But yeah, I'll agree. Get him up out of here, man, and move him to the West. But I also agree with Maya, is like, that's KD homie. That's the reason KD came. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. KD ain't come for Steve Nash. KD ain't come for.
I don't think that homie stuff really mean nothing, man, because Russ was his homie.
I think Russ was forced to be his homie because they were played for the same team and got drafted for the same organization. That's a little different from being. I think more of Russ and James Harden was homies because they both from the LA, the LA area. They both understand the LA streets. I think KD and Russ was more like, we got drafted a couple years apart. We were told that we're gonna be the cornerstones of this franchise. But I think KD and Kyrie real homies, man. And as much as Kyrie get on KD nerve, KD just always seemed like, regardless if you want to call him Twitter fingers, if you want to call him burner account, hey man, KD gonna keep it a buck, G. And that's one thing I bet he gonna keep it a buck no matter what. And I don't see him being fraudulent with Kai just selling them out. So I do agree with Maya. It's like, man, he gonna ride for Kai until Kai hit on his last little edge. You know what I'm saying? The last little string. Then you gonna ride for him.
So let me ask you this: you think if Riri get up out of there, you think KD and James stay in Brooklyn?
That's the biggest thing with being a GM. I think it's like if you lose Kai, because they still ain't signed the contract with James. It's like KD is gonna look at that and like, bro, you didn't listen to me. Why did you trade him? And they probably, you don't know what conversations KD and Kyle are having. You never know. Like Kyle might have a set date to come back. You never know. That's how the nigga might think. But it's like, what if they do trade Kyle? And then James like, y'all shit, I'm going too. KD gonna be like, bro, I ain't come here for this. I came here to win rings. I'm trying to catch Bron. I'm trying to be better than.
What are you gonna say? I want to go back and play with them boys in the Bay.
I'm not watching the NBA no more. I'm done. I'm not watching no more. If KD go back to the Warriors,
to be honest, man, we don't need him.
It's a chance though. That's a chance though.
We don't need him though.
You always need him.
Don't take him.
Y'all niggas needed him the first time. Trust me. Y'all always needed Kevin Durant. Trust me. Trust me. Before Bron gonna tell Steph bye-bye again. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey man, the Lakers gotta stay healthy too, bro.
And let's get to that, man. That's a perfect segue. Let's move it to the West.
I ain't never been
as
saying.
we talked about earlier, the West is looking real different, man. The Golden State Warriors, Coach Don team is 4-0. They sitting number 1. A team that I predicted to be number 2. Last week when we had our show, Maya, the Utah Jazz are number 2 right now, sitting at 3-0. I think the Utah Jazz is going to be a good team. That's just who they are. Donovan Mitchell is a 28-point-up-game guy. He going to get buckets up. Rudy Gobert going to hold the middle down to Depoy. He's going to be in the Depoy talks every year. He's got a solid team. They got a solid coach. They're just good. D-Wade, a partial owner. He making good moves. He signed it, got his son playing for his G League team. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like it's a good organization. The Timberwolves, the Kings, and the Mavericks sit that 3, 4, 5 spot. I don't want to really comment on them because we don't got a lot of time. Our producers want us to wrap it up and keep it on a strict time schedule. The Nuggets are 7th right now. I kind of want to touch on that. The reigning MVP of the league, Joker, kind of went down with a scary knee injury the other night against the Jazz. That was a little crazy. How y'all feel about the Nuggets, man? You feel like they're going to probably have a tough year, or they should pretty much pick it back up and be good by the postseason?
Yeah, I seen the Joker went down the other night before half, and then he was warming up to play in the second half, but coach came over like, nah, sit it down. Lose my job.
Big ass down, big fella. Go snap, get that tape, and go get that ice, big fella.
But look, though, that's another team that's gonna be scary come time Christmas because they got Jamal Murray returning too. So yeah, it's huge. And that's their second option for real. So it'd be like, I guess Michael Porter slide down to that third option, and then on its own.
How y'all feeling about the Denver Nuggets? How y'all feeling, coaching and Maya?
I think that it's still kind of early, man. Right. Still kind of early. I mean, we saw what they could do. We saw. I think they'll be all right, man.
It's a team that went to. They were in the West Final. Was it 2 years ago?
I think so.
It's the Lakers, right? It's the Lakers, right? Who got last year? They ended up losing.
2 years ago.
They ended up losing to the Suns last year, who ended up representing the West in the finals. So yeah, I think they're a deep team too, man. Believe it or not, they're a really, really deep team. They're a big team. They're a big team. They can shoot as well. Joker is amazing. He's pound for pound arguably probably the best big man in the league. Him is JoJo. So I do agree that I think we all are in the same consensus that the Nuggets will be fine. Let's push along a little bit more real quick. I want to hear Maya talk on this one team because this used to be his team, and I know Don got some stuff to say. The Los Angeles Lakers. Let's get right to it. You know what? Let's save them, and then they'll be the next one we talk about real quick. The team that was in the finals last year.
I was just going to say
sitting 10th right now. The Phoenix Suns are 1-3. They don't look confident. Maya made some statements last week about, all right, maybe Bron can do it and sit some games out and play like a Super Saiyan. But CP3, we know he missed the glass too. We know he only got so many minutes he can log a year. The Suns are concerning. I look at them, and they just make me mad because everything I felt they did last year was a sham. I'm still believing that. Every team they played in the playoffs had an injured key player or a star player. I don't believe in this team. I pray this team don't make the playoffs. And it could be a little hate, a little anger from last postseason. But I just don't believe in the Phoenix Suns. I don't think they're gonna be good. And yes, this is me backtracking my statement from last week because I had them finishing top 4. But now that these niggas are 10th, you know what? Get them up out of there. I don't want them. Get them gone. How y'all feel about the Suns, man? They gonna be okay? Can Book get back into form? You know what I'm saying? Can his team get back into real life like contention? Like what does the Suns have to do to give us that type of energy they gave us last year?
I feel like they'll be all right going forward. I think more so for them is just mentally getting out of this slum of getting spanked in finals. Right? They didn't really I don't really feel like they made any major changes to their roster during the offseason or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So they still confident and sold on who they are. They just gotta do a better job at closing out and gelling like they was during the playoffs.
Yeah. For me, this is a team I don't think they're gonna be all right. I'm with you, Chuck. I kind of hope they get this whooping too, because they fell into a lot of luck last year.
Let that out for them, man. Get that belt for them, Juan.
They lucked up last year a lot. It's about time they get what they deserve for real.
So that Laker fandom, something else, man. But I think though they gonna be straight.
You got a Laker jersey up there too.
That's Kobe.
You see him?
That's his soul, man. That's R.I.P. Kobe, man. That's how you know what it is. Stop it.
Come on,
the
bro.
Bing.
Don't even try to do that on here, bro.
That's respect.
I tried.
But I think they're gonna be straight, man. I think the biggest thing is DeAndre Ayton. I think
Giannis' son. That's Giannis. No, that's Giannis' daughter. That is Giannis' daughter. That's who that is, man.
I think I said that last year that he was going to be a key part of what was going to happen with the Suns, man. And he ain't.
Yeah,
I don't know where fool from, but he ain't get tough at all, bro.
Giannis him.
His ass spurred up, G.
I'm talking about Giannis' soul caliber. Took that man's soul away from him, took his heart, took his grind, his energy. Yeah, man. DeAndre Ayton ain't that no more, man.
Yeah, it's that, you know, them going off the finals, but also him not having his contract. He's seeing all his guys that's in his draft class getting these, lucrative contracts, and he's just like, man, what mine's that? It's my time.
Michael Porter get his. He's like, damn.
Right. He's like, what mine's that? I get some of that too, right? And they just like, no, bro. We need to see more from you. Like, you need last summer you say you need to dunk the ball. Like, but they need to play like they played against the Lakers, man, with motivation. Mike Hill has been playing great. He's averaging like 16 right now. Devin Book he's averaging like 25, 23, 25. And CP got a double-double. So it's like these guys are hooping. It's just like, come on, somebody just needs the Book or CP just need to talk to DeAndre and like, bro, don't worry about it. If you hoop this season, you're going to get that contract. But yeah, I think that's just the biggest thing with them right now, man. Is that I honestly, I want to retract what I was going to say too from last week. I think like it's too early to tell, but I think honestly, just looking at the Nuggets, like I think they might struggle a little bit more than the Suns this year. Just like based off games I didn't see, like they did get a comeback off the Suns. The Nuggets did, but we'll see though, man. I just think Phoenix might be okay. They should be okay just based off what I'm seeing. I think
every year when we watch the league, besides the Warriors and the Cavs and maybe the Heat and the Spurs and maybe the Lakers and the Celtics, usually when you go to the finals, that next year you have a hangover. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way in with the World Series. It's the same way with the Super Bowl. One team is gonna come back out their finals break and just gonna struggle. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of sports curse it is. But I feel like that's my thing. The Suns won't make it. Just like the Heat was, or if they do make it, they're gonna get bounced in the first round. The Suns won't make it. But let's talk about the team that the Suns beat. The team that Cameron Payne had LeBron a little heated on the bench, man. And as we look at it, the Lakers are now 2-3. They sit right above that Suns team that I was just dogging. So it's like, hey, Chuck, how can you dog a team? Your team sitting right there with them. They on that, but they both outside the club trying to get in. I'm gonna just kick it off because I know I'm gonna antagonize a lot of y'all during this last segment. And again, you're watching Free Game. We ended our show off with Coach Don, with Maya, with Juan Gotti, and myself, Chuck. Man, we ended it off with a little bit of Los Angeles Lakers talk. The greatest franchise to ever be assembled. The greatest franchise in the NBA. One of the greatest franchises in all sports. You can argue it all you want. You talk about the Yankees, you talk about the Dallas Cowboys. You got to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers as being one of the greatest franchises of all time. Man, this has been a shit show. This has been chaos. It has been no synergy. It's been technicals. It's been air balls. It's been Bron coaching with a sweater on and shorts. It has been some of the most gut-wrenching, headache type of games I have watched as a Laker fan. It ain't worth Bush Parker and the Kwame Brown days. But it's close to what I think they would get it together. Hell yeah. I'm biased, but I also know it's the Los Angeles Lakers. They gonna figure it out. But I am getting to that point where I don't know how long I can wait before I hop on this. Russ, we need to get your shit together. My boy Chevy told me chill. So one game, then it became 2 games, then it became 3 games. Last night, I liked the intensity of him getting thrown out the game. I will say that. I don't think, as a team, especially your old team, that the franchise that you felt like you're the greatest player for that franchise. Because, it's arguable that the greatest player for the Oklahoma City Thunder is either Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Because the people probably say Russ because he played a little longer for him. The MVP on with him, just like KD won MVP, but the triple doubles and all that stuff or whatever. But that's a talk for another day. But my biggest concern with the Los Angeles Lakers and what they need to do to fix it and turn around is to figure out this big 3, as we were talking about the Brooklyn Nets big 3. The Lakers were the second favorite in Vegas odds to win the NBA championship behind the Brooklyn Nets. And right now, they need to figure out how AD, LeBron, and Russ can play together to where they can average like 75 to 80 points a game. So that's my biggest thing. It might take some time. It could still be home jitters. The man playing for his home team on the other side of 30. You know what I'm saying? He ain't playing for him at a young buck at 24 coming back with a little bit of bounce and swagger. He playing for him as a vet, as an older guy. I just need them to figure out how they can really get those 3 in sync to where it could be showtime in LA.
Yeah, man. Like you said, bro, these guys they look trash, man.
Circus.
They look trash right now. But I think the biggest thing with our problem is, like you said, is Russell Westbrook. I seen on the Get Up with Tim, he was talking about it's like when Russ is playing with both AD and Bron, it's like you driving a Ferrari in the gated community. That's the analogy he said. But it's like once Bron is gone, it's like now you can drive this joint on the highway. Like now you can do what you want, swerve lanes, do what you want. And it's like Russ and AD, they got that chemistry, just like Bron and AD. Like guard and big is always gonna have that chemistry. But it's like once he gets with another ball handler like Bron, it's hard for us. And then Melo's been great. Melo's been great for y'all. He had that one air ball. And I don't think it was a bad look last night. He just missed it. Like honestly, you can't do nothing about it. It was a good look. He got the ball and just missed it. Like I think people would be singing another tune if he made it. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is Russ has to be better. He has to be better. Second game, he did better than what he did in the first, having a triple single. So he had 33 and like 10. But then with the Thunder, it's like, all right, bro. Like how y'all just lose what
26-point lead.
a 26-point lead, and it's the first time it's happened in franchise history. Like that was back when I was a Lakers fan, and even like our shit teams ain't even do nothing like that. But it's like, yeah, bro, it's like Russell, you know, ease your way in. You got to ease his way in, and just find out like the Nets do with Kai, be with the second unit. Russ might have to just go ahead and run that second unit. Like get them out early in the quarter, and then let him go ahead and play all second quarter and let him dominate and do his thing. Because as a third option, it is like you put him in the box, for you hold him full back. He plays best when he's just like, let him go crazy, man. You just gotta let him go wild. Let Wolverine do his thing. So,
how y'all fellas feel, man? As we wrap the show up, I know y'all gotta have some good takes, some hot takes, man. You gotta get the people something. What's y'all thoughts on the Los Angeles Lakers, man? This early in the season.
Yeah, I think Rush, man. I think it's hard for him playing with LeBron and AD when he is used to doing his own thing. You know, he ain't used to people barking back at him or nothing like that. And on top of that, I say he don't seem as confident. You know, he seemed a little confused out there. Like I think it's been his first time ever looking like lost out there. I don't know if it's the LeBron effect. I don't know if it's. I mean, he in his hometown, so he should just be balling out. But I don't know if he focused on his fashion line or whatever. But he definitely not hooping. You know what I mean? So, and I think they
you put that nigga in a skirt, he probably start hooping again. You know what I'm saying? Folks look confident with that damn kilt. Now he on the
please let's not even to exist this fool. They'll have niggas up there with skirts on hooping. G talking about gender equality. I'm gonna recant that, man. I just think they got to get some better chemistry, man. I agree with Maya. You might do have to see how he plays, you know, coming off the bench or something like that, kind of working him in and then giving him that whole quarter, you know. I think I don't know if they really hashed that out when they thought about like bringing Russ over, because he kind of like demands the ball, you know what I mean? And Bron don't have the ball. So like, you said what, Maya?
Should have got DeRozan and Buddy. Man.
It's early. We'll see. It's early, man.
Who was Buddy?
Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield, man.
Yeah. I think though. I think if he don't do what he's supposed to do, them other young Chicago guns gonna have to step up, man, and do what they do.
That's the thing about the team being injured as well. People don't want to realize like how big THT was to our team the last season and the last two seasons at that. And then, you know, the new acquisition of Kendrick Nunn, Malik Monk is fighting his way back from injury. He looked good the other night. Like Maya said, Melo won't be straight, man. One thing, Melo baller, G. Like Melo, when Melo was trying to be blackballed from the NBA, he came to Portland and he did his damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they got some hoopers. Dwight, man, he just missed the top 75, you know, list of the 75th anniversary of all-time players. He missed that list, but Dwight is a key factor. He's a key factor in the championship year. I just feel like just like the Nets and just like the Bucks and some of y'all, how y'all feel about the Suns, it's just going to take some time to get these teams rolling. These young teams you see hot, eventually the season will go on, and they're probably going to falter down. And the OG teams we used to doing what they're doing, they're going to ride and make their way up. Juan Gotti, I got to hear from you, man. I got to get your take. You are the only Laker fan right now.
Because the Lakers messing up people parlays too, man.
Yeah, they are, man.
They messed
up a lot of parlays last night.
Niggas big mad.
Yeah, a lot of parlays.
I think that's why I'm not in Georgia. I can't make no parlays. So I got to save my little coins and keep them in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no gambling out here in Georgia, so you can't even do none of that. So it's like, Juan, you the only Laker fan on the panel left. You the only one that can save this segment. Because I've already pretty much said, look, they got to figure that shit out. I'm an OG Laker fan. I'm never gonna be biased, G. I'm never gonna sit here and just say, you know what, man, see what you're saying. I'm not gonna pull the Tay effect. I'm not gonna pull the Devontae effect. All right, I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is be real, and I'm gonna look at my team for what it is. For one, I know you got a bit of optimism in you. I know you believe in King James more than anybody else out of our group. I know you done seen him come down from the dirt and rise to the top and win it all. What needs to happen with our Lake Show, man?
Speaking of Bron, he come back Friday too, so that'll be a big thing. Well, he should come back Friday, but I ain't gonna lie. Everybody keeps talking about how Russ need to play like Russ. I think he need to change up his game a little bit. I think he need to slow it down a little bit because he cannot average 10 turnovers with us. That's not a good thing. That won't lead to good results.
All right, man. So I just, if it's beyond Russ, so do we all feel like it's just mainly Russ's issue? Do we feel like Bron's game management is probably going to be a problem? If Russ don't get it together, Bron can't take that many damn games off. Because that's what we were saying. When me and Mike was echoing last week with Keith when we did our basketball episode was, Bron could probably Bron could take some time off. Because you're going to have Rush, you're going to have AD. They can hold the fort down against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They can hold the fort down against the Houston Rockets. They can hold the fort down against the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what I'm saying?
They're supposed to hold the fort down.
It's supposed to. But if Russ don't get it together and don't really be that scoring option, can Bron really take the time off? So is it more on Russ? Is it Bron has to probably step in and figure it out? Does AD need to go cool and average 40 a night? Does the role players, I'm waiting for the THTs and the Kendrick Nuns and what else is it besides Russell Westbrook? And we're going to get about it.
Yeah, because it's definitely not all Russ's fault. I think the whole team just got to step it up collectively.
Can't be getting in the fights.
Yeah, you see stuff on the sidelines. So evidently it's something that's happening, that's being said about whoever ain't doing what or whatever they're supposed to be doing. But something got to be done because it looked good for Golden State, but it looked horrible for the Lakers. Man. They're not playing like who people thought they would be playing like. Right now. And it's almost like, would you second guess Juan? Would you say like, would you rather have Kuzma back right now instead of Russell?
It's like we traded one fairy for another fairy. It's like we traded one weirdo for another weirdo. But one weirdo's supposed to be the man. Russ supposed to be the goddamn man. And he is, man. He at home. I'm not gonna sit here and not believe that Russ gonna be fine. I'm not gonna put it all on Russ. I'm just gonna put it on this team just ain't synced up. They ain't gelled up. They ain't figured out who need to be well, what they need to be, and they haven't figured out what their goddamn roles is. Only people that know what the hell they doing is LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And we saw that opening night. And AD had a great game last night. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just feel like those two people know who they are. The rest of them are a little confused on what they identity is.
Yeah, before we leave, I think just the biggest thing is it's not on Russ like we all saying, but when the team is not playing good, he's going to be the fall guy. That's the third options. Usually third options always are the fall guys. And he just got to, like Brian said, go and watch a comedy, bro. Don't be paying attention to all of these, outlets, media outlets, and just hope. Like Juan said, he got to change up his game. It's too early for that, man. He just got to play Russ, be Russ, and he know how to manage his turnovers. He just got to slow down, and then when he playing with Brian, up it more, a little bit more.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, I think with LeBron being out, you said he'd be back Friday, so that's tomorrow. But him being out, how many games he missed? What, 1 or 2?
Just 2 games. So yeah, he come back tomorrow. He's supposed
to Russ was really supposed to ball out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's supposed to ball out. You got the green light. You got the green light pretty much. You and AD, do your thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of fool's gold this first few weeks, first 2 weeks. a lot of food go. We'll
A lot of,
see.
a lot of tomfoolery.
Yeah,
And like
a
we
lot of
said,
food
each and
go.
every week we're gonna give them updates, and it's gonna change, and our taste's gonna change, and our opinions gonna change. So I hope our fans are just ready, man.
But for a lot of players, it's kind of hard for you to really stay focused and really hoop, and you are playing in your hometown like that. Like it's so much other stuff that could distract you as easily. You know.
Russ ain't that type
That's a
of player,
cop
though.
out, but
But no, man, this has been Free Game, man. You know, follow us on all platforms, Instagram, YouTube.
Smash the button.
We on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, RSS. Like you said, go ahead and subscribe that subscribe button, man. Tap it, push it, whatever makes you sleep at night. Make sure you subscribe, bro. And like the video. Like the video, man. And shout us out. Free Game. You're going to see a lot more of us. And like you said, we're going to commit to an NBA episode every week, bro. And I can promise you that.
free game.
See y'all next week. We out of here.
Peace.